Hi everybody. So check it out. Commenting on this video in which I visit the Peak District, one of my favorite places in the entire United Kingdom. Hello sheep family. Mother and two beautiful lambs. Bless them. And you can see another mother with a couple of lambs in the distance there. They're coming my way. Now, I do happen to know that these are family units. Oh, look at these ones. There's a mother and a lamb as well, because if you look at their bodies, you can see they've been painted or marked with corresponding numbers, so we know that they're families. So that's number 62 family. Oh, lovely. Lots of them about. You can see it's a fairly cloudy, dry day. At least it didn't rain. It wasn't that cold. It was good hiking conditions. It really was. A little bit windy. You can hear the blustering of the wind slightly billowing into the microphone. But it wasn't too bad, and I've turned that noise down. And here we have another sheep and her lambs calmly ambling towards us. I don't think they're too bothered that we're here observing them. Oh, Unit 20. Hello. That's just me chatting to my friend. As I say, great day for hiking, a little bit cloudy. It never actually rained. We were out there for 5 or 6 hours trekking. 16 miles we did in the end, for which I wasn't really prepared, I can promise you that, and I ended up with a headache and fatigue, but I survived it, and it was a lot of fun. Look at that, spectacular. It's a great trail, so let me explain. We are presently on the Longdendale, it's difficult for me to say, you try it, Longdendale Trail. I don't know why that's so difficult to say. Longdendale Trail, 3 syllables. And it's a really good trail. It used to be a railway line that's been sort of converted. It was used for quite a few years, as you'll discover at the end of the video. But the track is fantastic. It's sort of easy going for someone who just wants to walk on level ground, which is a novelty, to be honest with you, in the Peak District. Some of the walks can be quite challenging, but this one is relatively easy. Look at that. Absolutely brilliant. Nice little zoom in there. I don't know if, again, are these hills? Are they mountains? I don't think they qualify as mountains, even though they're rather large. And you can see a body of water there. I did tell you I'm always around water. So there were 4 or 5 consecutive reservoirs in and around this area. And we did a circular track of sorts. We didn't quite follow it to the letter. But we've got patches of blue sky poking through the otherwise rather gloomy looking clouds. And it just makes me smile just even remembering being in the area, because there's nothing quite like the Peak District. Well, I mean, we do have similar places. For example, the Lake District. It's fairly similar, to be fair. But I love the Peak District, and I love coming across houses such as the one at the top of this road here, which you can see in the distance. Because I imagine owning those houses. I would give my right arm to live in that house. I think it's a farmhouse as well, because they have several sort of warehouses, farm-looking warehouses, farm types. I'll swing by one more time. You can see the color and the shade of that green on the fields, with the sections separated out. And I do remember walking up here and being struck by the view up to the top of this cliff or hill, but I think it's a little bit disappointing in the end. It doesn't quite show or come across in the video. Who's that? And perhaps I was a little bit disappointed by this ravine down there. Maybe it's just a little bit too messy to see much. There wasn't that much to see down there, but this is the track that we took, and this is going off the beaten track. And we didn't really have much choice because this track that we were on was leading to the farmhouse, so we had to go around it. And here we are, so we went up that track to the top, and then it leads all the way around down into a valley, and we sort of followed that stream, as you can see if by looking down to the bottom of the valley, you can see a stream running all the way through. So we circumnavigated and ended up at the foot of the valley, really. And you're surrounded by these high cliffs. It's almost like a meteor struck and left this big hole in the ground, this bowl into which we're descending now. Apart from that chap in front of me, don't know who he is, we are completely alone. I love the shades of brown here. They're mixing really well. And it's coming across quite well in the video. You can see another body of water there. Looking spectacular. If only the sun had been out. It does pop out later, but for the moment it's hiding behind clouds. And as I zoom in, hopefully you can see the water streaming down. Beautiful. It's almost true wilderness. It really is. Ah yes, I remember turning up the video when I was editing this video. I turned up the volume on the video so that you could hear the general sounds of the area, the birds and the wind, and the breaking of bracken underfoot, which that was there. Lots of bracken, gnarly trees, lots of atmosphere. It looks a little bit cold and desolate, but inviting at the same time. It's quite a weird contrast. As I speed along down here, again, I didn't really start running, I've just sped up the video. Ooh, that's a cool, gnarly tree sticking out at the edge of the cliff. Who's that? Okay, so we've sort of circled round and down, continuing to descend to the very foot of the valley. Excuse me. And I think the stream runs along a little bit lower down, and we're going to have to cross the stream. It can be tricky at times, and I'm always worried about twisting an ankle or my knee. So I'm always a little bit on edge in these situations. You'll see what I mean. There's a tricky crossing coming up. And just to give you some perspective, that is exactly how surrounded I felt looking up at these super high cliffs. Check out the cragginess of the cliffs. Two people in front of me. Two intrepid explorers. Good for them. I guess that makes me an intrepid explorer sometimes. I have to be very careful as I pick my way through because obviously I'm filming and I need to be concentrating on where I'm walking, which is always a little hazardous. So one has to be cautious as one picks their way through these tracks. You've got to be cautious anyway, but it doesn't help if you're holding a camera. And you can see the crossing is a little bit tricky. This chap here is struggling a little bit, but I think he makes it in the end. He's all right, he didn't die. Oh, yeah, he's on the other side. And here we are a little bit further down on the other side, and guess what? The sun's come out. Look at that. This is perhaps 10 minutes only later, and the sun is shining, beaming down on my naked head. Naked because I've got no hair, by the way. And the feel is completely different. It's so nice with the sun at your back, and the vibrancy of the colors and different shades of brown and green on the hills are striking, aren't they? Makes such a difference. 10 minutes ago, it was all doom and gloom, and now it's bright. Beautiful. Look at that wall. The stone wall's amazing. A lot of those are many, many years old and often hand-built. But here we are already. I can't believe it. A 16-mile walk reduced to a 13-minute video. But we are at the end here. After this, we turned around and went back to the car, which took perhaps another hour or so, but still, it was a circular. And, oh, check that cool white house out that you can just about see through the trees. This is flowing quite quickly, isn't it? And you can see where we are now. So I think this used to be a train station. So it's the end of the railway line. And it was a railway that was decommissioned, I think, in the 1960s or 70s, my friend was telling me. There are some trails here leading to tunnels, 3 tunnels. But have a look here. This is really informative. It tells you exactly where we are on the map in relation to the United Kingdom. But also it tells you that we're at Woodhead Station and tunnels. So for almost 150 years, this entire trail, the Longdendale Trail, was once a busy railway, an active railway. And it connected, I believe, Sheffield and Manchester. But once everybody got cars, there was no need for it anymore.